Hi, in this video, I'm going to talk about the requirements for Lab 1. Please make sure you listen to this carefully and you follow all the requirements. This will make it a little easier than just reading through this document, I'm hoping. So let's take a look at it. Lab 1 says budget control in shopping cart. So the first thing I want to say is do not use some of these things, mainly global variables. You cannot have any variables outside of main. All variables have to be local inside of main or passed as parameters. They can be local inside of functions. You can, however, have global constants, which would be outside of main. Please feel free to use global constants wherever they are appropriate. Also, I don't want you to use any of the stdio libraries as printf, scanf. We are going to use all the C++ functions and tools, so please use iostream and fstream to do. You won't need fstream for the first lab, but you will need your iostream. We will not be using the string class, so please use C strings for all character arrays or for all text strings. Please use character arrays. That's all we'll be doing. And please watch the video that I have in module 1 that shows you how to read character arrays and how to and there's more videos and code available to show you how to pass them to functions. So please make sure you use only character arrays. The things that you need to do for this class, apart from what we've already seen, is there's a style guide attached with every lab in the Dropbox. Please make sure you go through that and follow that in formatting your code. You should always do data validation, and again we've seen we have a lot of videos in module 1 that show you how to do data validation. So if the user enters a letter instead of a number, it should be able to give an error message instead of freezing or doing something unexpected. Please do follow all specifications for this lab. Do not do anything different. So when I'm grading all the different assignments, if they're all different, I will not be able to do an efficient job of grading them and giving you feedback. So please stick to specifications and do what is asked. You can always send me code that you have done. I'll give you feedback apart from the lab, but please, for the lab, stick to specifications. For this lab, we want to do simple data modeling, meaning we are not even going to use structs or arrays or anything like that, as you'll see. The main thing we are concerned about is data validation, input output, how to do input output with C strings, for example, flow control, how do we write the code efficiently, if else, loops, and functions. Those are the main things for this lab. So here's our problem. It says, have you ever been low on cash? Couldn't go beyond a certain dollar limit when shopping. So your job is to have a program that will essentially give a running total as the user adds an item and a price. So we're going to write a program that keeps a tally of the amount that we have spent so far as we visit a store. So you should allow the shopper to enter the product name and the cost. So here's where comes the C strings, the product name, and make sure you should be able to read a product name with space. And the cost, of course, would be a double. This should be echoed and confirmed. Make sure that's what the user wanted to enter. Make sure to check for bad data when you read the cost. The user should be allowed to continue this until they want to check out. So you need to use a loop and keep doing the same thing until the user says Q to quit. So then you can exit the program. Your program needs to keep a running total. So every time an item has been added, you need to give me a running total. So if you really think about it, you don't need to store any of the information except for that running total. I don't expect you to have an array to store the item name or an array to store the price. So you really don't even need arrays. So the main idea of this lab or this exercise is to use everything you have learned from chapter 2 or even 1 all the way through chapter 7, where we stop with functions, where we don't do any arrays. So with that, except for character arrays, of course, we use character arrays for the product name. So upon checkout, when the user says they want to check out, so it should be part of the menu, the grand total should be displayed, and you must use proper formatting so we see only 2 decimal places and a dollar sign, etc., etc. So please follow the specifications, and then the lab should be fairly simple to do. Make sure you use functions so the grading requirement says you need to use simple data modeling, so there's no use for any structs or classes or even arrays at this point in time. Just use character arrays, loops, and keep a running total of the amount. And gives you some information on how to submit your work. In this case, all you will have is a CPP file that you can simply upload to your Dropbox, and you should be done. If you have any questions, please do email me. If not, good luck with your lab.